Happy Thursday, learners. I'm so happy to see you're back. Today is Thursday. Today is the end of our second week of learning. We're so happy to continue studying narratives with you today, but next week we are changing our focus. That means we will have a new essential question next week, but today it is all about wrapping up everything that we've learned about narratives. Just to remind you, in case you haven't heard it enough, our essential question: how do authors use narrative elements to write a story? When we first gave you this essential question, we thought there are parts of this question that are so tricky to understand. Every day we've worked on understanding what are the elements and what is narrative. We really hope that by the end of these 2 weeks of learning, you have come to understand what narrative is and what those elements are. We have a few activities for you today to summarize what we've been learning so that we can move on to our next text type next week. Since it's Thursday, we have word study. If you want to use your notebook to practice these word study with us right now, you can. Otherwise, go ahead and visit us on our YouTube channel where you can watch this lesson again and practice along in your notebook. You'll also need your notebook because we're going to do some writing, like I said, to summarize narrative as well. Are you ready? All right, go ahead and put your hands out straight. I like a little body break before I change my thinking. Alrighty, friends, word study. Word study means learning about words and finding patterns in the words that we read. Patterns in the words that we speak, patterns in the words that we write. We're looking for patterns when we're doing word study. Today's focus: identify base words. Today, we are going to look at different words and identify the base word within each word. Third graders, fourth graders, fifth graders, you are reading and writing longer words now. Within most of those words is a base word. Today, we're going to go through an activity where we are looking, finding, identifying those base words. Take a look at these 4 words: preschool, pre-test, preview, pre-game. In word study, we look for patterns. What patterns do you notice? You may have noticed each of these words begins with P-R-E. Our objective today is to identify base words. Inside preschool, I noticed the word school. Now, this isn't a compound word like butterfly, classroom. Those are called compound words. In the word preschool, pre on its own is not a word, but school is. School is our base word. Below preschool, you'll see pre-game. The word game on its own is a word. I can use it in a sentence. I can use it when I'm speaking. I want to play a game. To pre-game, to put pre in front, changes the word a little bit. But remember, pre on its own is not a word. Game is our base word. This word preview, the word view on its own is a word. I can view the beautiful sky. I can add pre in front of it and it changes the word. Pre-test. As a teacher, I've given a lot of these. Before we study math, I will always give a pre-test. Maybe you've taken those before spelling, all different sorts of subjects. The base word, that's what our goal is to identify base words, is test. I know that word, it can stand on its own. Pre-test, preschool, preview, pre-game. Each of these base words have the prefix pre in front of them. That prefix means before. So I told you, pre changes the base word to mean before. So the word pretest means before the test. Preschool means before the school. Preview means before the view, and pregame means before the game. Now, some people have pregame stretches. So before you play a game of soccer, you may want to stretch a certain way. Preview is when you get a little bit of maybe a movie. You'll get a small preview of the movie. It can also mean before movies hit big movie theaters, a select audience will get a preview of that before everyone views it. That word before keeps coming back because pre as a prefix means before. Preschool, yes, our little friends who are 3 and 4 years old, they go to preschool. School officially begins in kindergarten. So preschool means before you officially begin school. And again, pre-test, you take pre-tests before you learn all the knowledge. When we can find the base words, then we can study what those prefixes mean. If you see the word pre before a word, it means before. Let's look at these words now. Shoes, friends, hours, movies. Our goal is to identify the base words. Those are the words that can stand on their own. They make sense all by themselves. In the word shoes, I know what shoes are. So where is the base word? Friends, hours, movies. Maybe you already saw the pattern here. The base word in shoes is shoe. The base word in friends is friend. The base word in hours is hour. And the base word in movies is just movie. Each of these base words have the suffix s behind them. That suffix can mean more than one. So the base word is shoe, and we added the suffix s. So I went from one shoe to more than one shoe. Movie is the base word, just one movie. I added an s to show more than one movie. Hour, maybe a class is 1 hour long, but school itself can be hours long. And the base word in the word friends is friend. These are examples where the base word comes first and the suffix comes behind the base word. Readers and writers and speakers, this is a practice in finding the patterns. Our goal today is to identify base words. Where are those words within these larger words? That's what we're trying to find today. When you are trying to find the base word, look for the word part that can be on its own. Here is a list of words. Let's try and find where is the base word. The first word is return. I hear the word turn. And on its own is not a word. So the base word must be turn. The next word is unhappy. Oh, it's separated. Unhappy. I know what the word happy means. So I see a prefix before. Pre means before. Prefix. Nonsense. Oh, that's nonsense. That means it's silly. Nonsense. Sense is a word all on its own. Pretend. I'm used to that word. I know how to pretend. But there's a base word hiding in pretend. Tend. In the next column, fixing. Where is the base word? Fix. Then there's a suffix added behind the base word. The next word is helper. The base word is help. And then ER has been added to the base word. Called. The base word is call. We added on the base word or the suffix ED. And lastly, tables. The base word is table. Then we added the suffix S. So I've put these into two columns. Prefix plus base word and base word plus suffix. When you're practicing at home, this is how I would love for you to categorize the words that you find. I went ahead and made the base word stand out. Return, unhappy, nonsense, pretend. On the next column, fixing, helper, called, tables. But of course, I can't end there because there are words that have a base word right in the middle. They start with a prefix, then the base word, then they end with a suffix. Sometimes they can have two suffixes. Don't get me started. But look at this list. We have pretests, 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 pre-tests. Where is the base word? I see the word right in the middle that can stand on its own. Test. Unfolding. Unfolding. The base word. Fold. Unfolding. Ooh. Unimpressed. We'll say that the base word is impress. Unimpressed. And lastly, returning. We're identifying base words. So the base word in returning is turn. Returning. So let's play a game where we categorize. Again, when you do this at home, these are your three categories that I would like you to write at the top of your word study paper. Prefix plus base word. Base word plus suffix. Prefix plus base word plus suffix. Those are going to be longer words. So let's practice. I will start with the word redo. If you're playing a game and you make a mistake, you say redo. There's actually a base word in there, a word that can stand on its own. Do. Redo. There's a prefix in front of the base word do. Let's see, pre-test. I remember that one. There's a prefix, then the base word. Happened. Happen plus a suffix. Undo. You can redo and you can undo. The base word is do. So there is a prefix in front of the base word. Next, I'm going to go for this word, cats. Cat is the base word, so there's a suffix. Jumped. The base word, jump. And then there's a suffix. So these two must be in my other category. Returning. Turn is the base word, and it's between a prefix and a suffix. Lastly, unfriendly. The base word, friend. Unfriendly. Unfriendly. So friends, to practice word study at home, open a book, a magazine, or find a sheet of paper with a lot of words on it. Look for words that have a prefix, suffix, or both. On a sheet of blank paper, categorize your findings. This is word study. Your categories will be 1, prefix, base word. 2, base word, suffix. Or 3, both. Prefix, base word, suffix. I hope you have fun looking, finding, studying, categorizing all the words around you. Have a great time with that, learner. We will be back with some narrative games. See you soon.
Hello, learners, and welcome back. I'm here with my teaching partner, Miss Abby, and we wanted to go ahead today, since we are at Thursday now, we are on week 2 of our summer learning, and we've really completed our narrative unit, right, Miss Abby?
Yes, we have.
So remember, we started our first week and we wrote some nonfiction narratives. We wrote your SCAR stories. And this week, we shifted gears, and Miss Abby taught you how to write some fictional narratives, the make-believe, the magic. So we talked a lot about narratives. We worked so much on our essential question. So how do authors use those elements to write narrative stories or write a story? So today, Abby and I are going to get a little competitive. Not really. We're going to play a game where we're going to review some of those narrative elements. And we have a game that is going to be uploaded onto our APS website. So you can go and access it and practice those terms. But we're going to play together.
Yes.
But at home, well, we are going to answer the questions together. If you know the answer, go ahead and say it out loud. When you say things out loud, that's another way to learn. It helps your brain remember.
Definitely.
And you're going to be amazed at how much you've been taught, right? Or that you've learned. So come along with us. We're going to begin our game. So on our website, you're going to have this link, and it's called playfactile.com. The game that we're going to play is called Elements of Narrative Writing.
That's exactly what we've been studying.
It sure is. So let's see how we do. And so what you're going to do is go ahead and go into it and click play now. It will load. So you are able to play this with, look at how many teams you can have. A lot.
Wow, 50 people playing.
I know. That's a lot of people. Please don't have that many people grouped together because we are still sort of socially distancing, right? And we want to make sure we're keeping safe.
Definitely.
So Abby and I are going to play. We are actually going to be 2 teams. There'll be Team Abby and Team Craft. So let's go ahead and click 2. Now, there is a mode of this that you can purchase. We're going to play the free version, which is fine. So we're not going to have a buzzer. So we're going to just click no there. Now's the fun part. We get to choose our team mascot. So Miss Abby, I'm going to let you go ahead and choose the fruit that you would like.
Well, I was going to choose pineapple, but there's something so funny about onion. Who wants to be an onion? I want to be an onion. So I'm going to choose onion.
All right, go ahead and touch it, Miss Abby.
Okay.
And that's going to highlight it for you.
Nice.
And because it's summer, and I'm going to choose, well, if she chooses onion, I should probably choose lemon. I do love lemons in the summer.
I do too.
So let's be a lemon.
All right.
So now it's going to take you to this screen, how to play. You can walk through it if you want, or you can just go ahead and click Start Game.
Ooh, oh, I see me. Onion.
So we have an onion, we have Miss Abby, and we have Mrs. Kraft here as the lemon. I don't have any hair, and neither, well, you have a little bit of hair.
Yeah, like the top of an onion.
So what I'm going to do now, because we want you to be able to see it in a really big screen, is go ahead and click this button, and it's going to expand our game and make our little characters down there a little bit bigger so you can see.
How fun.
So we've got, I feel like I'm Jeopardy Alex Trebek today. So we are going to have some categories today. Our first one is academic writing. You guys have been doing a lot of academic writing this week. The next one is the who, when, and where.
Setting.
That's interesting.
Character. All of it.
The next one is my favorite, dialogue.
Wow. This is exactly what we've been studying. Yes.
The next one is problems and the story.
Ooh.
What's the point?
What's the point?
And structure.
Oh.
That's our plot, right? Our plot diagram that we went over.
Exactly behind me. Yeah.
So, Miss Abby, you get to choose any category and whether you'd like your question to be a little bit easier, which are going to be the $100 questions, or a little bit harder, which are going to be the $500 questions.
So how does it know who's answering?
Right, so you're going to go ahead and pick your question, and then you're going to click the check.
Oh, check means I have an answer?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to go in the middle. I'm going to test the water. How about dialogue for 300?
Dialogue for 300.
All righty. To show a character is speaking out loud, an author uses this punctuation. I know exactly what it uses.
Can you say it out loud to your TV? What do they use when they create dialogue?
Quotation marks. How do I answer? Do I say
Go ahead and click your check.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Am I right? And it gave me $300 into my account.
Miss Abby wins. She got that right. Did you guys get that right at home? If so, great job. That means you're learning along with us.
Nice. All right, your turn.
Now we're going to click continue. And I get to pick one. I'm going to go ahead and pick academic writing. And I'm kind of a structure person. So I'm going to work from the top. I'm going to pick the $100 one. And my question is, or my response, to convey a clear idea, writers should use blank sentences. What kind of sentence should you use to write a clear idea? My teacher brain is telling me it's a complete sentence. Did you get that? Did you agree with me? Let's see. Let me click my check mark. Oh, ta-da! And it is complete sentences. Yay, we're on a roll. Let's continue. Miss Abby gets to go next.
I'm curious of what's the point. I don't know what that category is about, so I'll go for 200 just to
Sure.
be a little cautious. The difference between a theme and a topic is, well, theme is what the overall message or story is. Topic is what is literally about. I'm not sure if I have the right wording though.
Well,
Is there a better way that you would word this? What is the difference between a theme and a topic?
Well, I think you did a great job of explaining it. I think a theme is what the message that the author wants to convey in the writing, and the topic is what the writing is about. So let's see how they phrase it. Oh,
That's weird.
well, that maybe isn't quite the right answer.
Can we go back? Well, you can't go back.
But she got the money.
I got the money.
And learners, you know that sometimes things like that happen. We have glitches. We just work through them.
Yeah.
Sometimes in your textbooks even, you're going to find some mistakes.
Oh, I love that.
That's always fun to do. So that might be one of these times.
And I'm happy to be able to discuss this with you.
Absolutely,
as well.
because things aren't always smooth. So let's go to the who, when, and where.
Yes.
I'm going to try that one for 200. The location in time or space is called the, oh, Miss Abby worked on this with you so much, right? That's one of our elements of setting. Let's see if that's the
Definitely.
correct answer. Boom!
Nicely
That one works. You see, just keep
done.
moving along and maybe it'll continue.
Let's see. How about structure for 400?
Oh,
I'm
wow.
a little nervous.
Brave. Miss Abby's so brave.
Let's try. The turning point in a story when the action begins to rise. The turning point in a story when the action begins to rise. Is that the climb? No, because it's a rising action. Can we see the answer before we
You
click
can.
here?
So you can skip and see the answer.
To see if I was right.
Which is great because then you don't have to worry about having money deducted.
What is the catalyst? I did not say that one.
Oh, that is not one that we've talked about.
So I'm going to say I got that one wrong, which is okay.
Yeah. So we're going to click continue. All right. See, she picked a hard one for structure. So how about if I go to problems and the story for 100? Problem should be replaced with which literary term? We talked a little bit about this as we talked about our characters and how they interacted with other characters. What do you think the answer is? Did you say conflict? That's going to be my choice.
That's what I was thinking.
Let's see
A
if that
conflict
works.
is a problem.
Yeah, so let's go ahead. I'm going to click my check. And there we have it. If you got that right, give yourself a pat on the back. That was an awesome job.
Nice. Oh, this is so fun. How about dialogue for 100?
Ooh, dialogue, right? We have it.
Dialogue occurs when what happens in a story? When characters are speaking out loud. That's when dialogue occurs.
I think that's absolutely right, Miss Abby.
When two or more characters speak out loud.
That's right. Remember, we did dialogue in Charlotte's Web, didn't we? Where we had our pig and our spider, Charlotte and Wilbur, speaking together. That's dialogue.
Definitely.
All right, I'm going to go, I'm going to go to problems and the story for 200. The necklace contains this literary conflict. That's not one of the stories that we read,
No.
so I'm not sure I know the answer to that one.
I'm not sure either.
So I'm going to go ahead and click skip see answer. Man versus self. And so we didn't talk about the different types of conflict because those, you're going to start learning those as you get into middle school. So that's a little bit advanced for what we're doing.
But it's good because we hope you want to play this at home. don't feel bad if there are some questions that you don't know the answer to, because we didn't know the answer to
And you're
this
going to
one.
learn. That way you're going to learn man versus self. And remember, we said when you create a story, you have to have characters, very important. And those characters have to have action. So that's usually a conflict, right?
Good to know.
All right.
Let's go ahead and continue. And yeah, I want to look for one that I've learned this week, and I'm not going to feel bad if I don't know the answer.
That's right.
How about, who, when, and where for 500? If you are writing about the gods of Olympus, gossiping about humans, you are using the what perspective. Oh, I think this is going to say either the first person, the second person, or the third person perspective. That is not something that we've covered, but I know that idea of perspective.
Unless it's omniscient, which is another really long word.
Which that one might be, and it's gods. You're right, it is the omniscient.
Omniscient. Perhaps, I'm not sure. So let's skip and see the answer.
If it's not that one, I was going to say it was third person perspective.
Go ahead and guess.
Let's see. Third person.
She got it. Yay.
Sorry, we're showing off. We're a little bit higher than 5th grade, but still, that's great to know. And then I can look into, well, what is third person perspective?
Right. And that's a great job. That's a great idea to do for the summer. If you come across something like this and you want to know more, we want you to be learners. We want you to be always learning, no matter where you are.
Being curious of what does that mean? I know what the difference between third person, first person, and second person is.
Ooh, second's hard.
But that would be a fun thing to Google and learn more about.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to continue. And I'm going to go back to academic writing because we've done so much of it this week. And I'm going to go to the 200 question. Ooh. Narrative stories usually have blank paragraphs. Did Miss Abby teach you this? I'm not sure she did because I don't think there's a good answer for this. I think they could have as many paragraphs as they need.
I'd want to put in the word several.
Several or many.
Yeah, usually not just one paragraph. Usually
Definitely
more
not
than
one. Probably not two.
What do you think it's
So maybe it's going to be more than two.
Let's see.
Let's check it out. You can't tell. It might be 1 or 100.
I was worried it was going to say it will only have 4 paragraphs. I was worried about that. So this answer makes sense.
So your teacher sensibilities has not been damaged at all in that question. So I'm not sure it could have 1. That would be a really long paragraph or a really short story, but it could happen.
Mm-hmm. Or it could be 100.
Ooh.
Or 1,000. Think about how many paragraphs are in a chapter book.
Yeah, let's think about Harry Potter, one of a very thick book. A lot of paragraphs going on there.
All right. Let's talk more about structure. I will do structure for 100.
All right.
Oh, good. I know this one. The most exciting part of a story is called, it's right here behind me. The peak of the mountain is called the climax. The most exciting part of a story is called the climax.
Excellent
The
job, Miss
climax.
Abby. She had that down pat. Did you guys get that at home? We talked a lot about that this week.
We did.
It's really crucial for our mystery writing too, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go up here for 100. The who, when, where. In a story, the people are called this name. Do you remember what the people are called?
That's a major element of narrative.
Absolutely. And remember, this one of the most critical, I think, because that's what you want to have in your mind before you start your story. And I'm going to go with characters on this one. Do you agree with me?
I do.
All right, let's try that one. Boom.
Bravo. Bravo.
All right.
How about what's the point? Let's get all the 100s out of the way.
It's a good thing because look at Miss Abby is far ahead of me in her score.
Yeah, I don't think that really reflects how much I know, but it looks fun for Mr. Onion.
Absolutely.
Oh, the message an author sends. The message is the theme of the story.
Let's try that. Oh, Miss Abby got it. So we didn't talk a lot about theme, because we did a lot of your own personal writing. And sometimes that comes a bit later, or as you read books with a theme, that's when you're going to get that. But it's a good idea to think about, why did the author write this book?
Yeah. A lot of themes are things like friendship, perseverance, not giving up, lots of different. The theme can be, what are some other ones?
So remember our Miss Nelson? Right? What do you think the theme of that story was? We had our lovely Miss Nelson, who had a terrible class. And she was replaced by Miss Viola Swamp.
I almost feel like the students learn the theme of being grateful for the teacher they have. But what were you thinking the theme was?
I think that's right. I think that it just shows that their teacher really cared about them, and she kind of knew what it would take to get them to become learners.
Yeah, definitely. Theme is very important. And so we will definitely learn more about that. Not this week, because we are done with narrative, but that is definitely something to learn in the classroom.
Okay, I can't remember whose turn. It's my turn, I think, right?
I believe so.
All right, I'm going to go with dialogue for 200. Dialogue is normally written in which perspective? So we didn't talk a lot about perspective this week, but when we write in first person, that means the person that is writing is the person that's actually speaking, so you get their viewpoint.
Definitely.
If you're writing in third person, it means we have sort of an outside person telling your story. So in Miss Abby's Scar story, instead of her telling it in first person, which is what she did, she might have her dad telling the story.
Oh, wow. That's a cool third person
And that would become a third person.
Yeah. But when we're talking about dialogue, you're usually very present in it.
Right, exactly.
So what do you think?
So I'm going to go with first person.
That's what I was thinking.
Let's see if that works.
Oh,
We were both wrong. Second person. Ooh,
well, it shows that we have
interesting.
some areas to learn as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Maybe
Let's
we
continue.
do one more each?
Sure.
Okay. So how about,
They're getting harder, though.
I know, structure for 200. In a story, I go up and come back down. What am I? So looking behind at the story mountain, I go up
This is a good one.
and I come back down. The rising action goes up, the falling action goes down. So I think it's rising action and falling.
Let's see, Miss Abby, if you're right.
What
Oh,
is
ta-da!
rising and falling action? Yay, I knew that one.
She had that on the money.
Yes.
And the money. Okay, so I'm going to do one more. I really would love to do problems and the story. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to skip to what's the point, because I feel like I don't really know what that's going to be. Oh, look, it's about dialogue. Dialogue is normally written in this point of view. That's interesting because I know this one now. We've learned, haven't we, Miss Abby?
We have.
I'm going to go with second person. Let's see if that's right.
Bravo.
Oh, ta-da!
Bravo. Well done.
So these, I'm sure, are randomly generated questions, and it kind of fits both categories also.
Definitely.
Should I try one more just because
I think so.
that one was a repeat?
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, so let's go with problems and the story. Ooh, running from zombies is an example of this literary conflict. That's another conflict one that we haven't really talked about. So
I'm curious.
running-
I just want to see the answer.
So I know it's man versus
danger?
nature, maybe?
Oh,
Man
zombie.
versus, because I can't say man versus man. That's another type of conflict, but I don't think a zombie is going to be a man.
I know. I'm curious. Let's see the answer.
Oh,
Supernatural.
supernatural. And
Something
that's
not
one.
natural.
But I love that word because that's one of those words that we use in our fiction writing. We use this. Remember, Miss Abby talked about Superman or mysteries or magic things.
Definitely.
That's supernatural. You want to try one more?
All right, we'll do one more. How about the who, when, and where for 300? The blank shows you the order of events in a story. The blank shows you the order of events in a story. What comes to mind first for you?
Well, plot comes to mind for me.
That makes sense. The plot shows you the order of events in a story. Plot or plot line. Right here is the plot. It shows you the order of events in a story.
Remember Miss Abby's scar story? So you showed us the introduction, but she started in the middle, didn't she? But then she went back and added the events that happened before she got hurt.
Definitely.
And then at the end, what happened at the end? So you can start your story anywhere, but we need to add that beginning information and the introduction and the rising action, right?
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, students, thank you so much for playing with us today. Again, this will be uploaded onto our APS website, so you can access this and pull it up on your laptop at home or your home computer if you have one. Even on a phone? Did you try it on a phone?
I did. I was able to play it on my mobile phone.
So that works too.
Definitely.
And that will help you rehearse and think about some of these story elements that create our narrative writing.
Yes. So thank you, Mrs. Kraft. For this next part, you're going to need some supplies. If you already have your supplies, I will lead you through a brain break. But Mrs. Kraft, I will ask, can you get us 2 chairs? And you will need your writer's notebook and a marker as well. Alrighty, friends. While Mrs. Kraft is getting us chairs, let's do a quick brain break. Stand up, please. And I've done this one before. Maybe you already know this. It's called a 5-count shakedown. Alrighty, friends, you need to be standing up a little loose. Put out one hand. When you have your one hand out, we're going to count to 5. 5-count shakedown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The other hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whole body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But it's a count down. So my next hand only counts to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Other hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Foot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Other foot. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 foot. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now your whole body. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now our hand goes to 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. And now 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. Whole body shakedown. 5-count shakedown. Thank you so much for grabbing me a chair. Alrighty, and so you have your writer's notebook, correct?
I do.
Wonderful. And I'm going to use a Sharpie. There's one right over there. Oh, you brought your pencil bag.
So I love to have my special pens, and maybe you do too. I have a pencil bag with different pens and Sharpies that I could use. I have a favorite purple pen. So let's get some of these out to see what we need for our writing.
How wonderful. Alrighty. So for today, we're going to have a little activity, and you can recreate this at home as well. Would you like some sanitizer?
I would love some sanitizer.
Alrighty. So I have 3 containers. You can use 3 cups, 3 buckets, or you could just put them in piles. So for this activity, you'll need 3 containers. And then I have some note cards. You could also just have pieces of paper. I'm going to give half of my stack to you, Mrs. Kraft. Now, the first container is going to be called characters. So I will write the word characters. And I will put it right in front of this first tin. All right. We need to come up with several different characters. Now, it's helpful if we come up with characters that we both know. So I can be a character. So I'm going to write Miss Abby. I am a character. Mrs. Kraft, will you write your name on a index card as well?
You betcha.
Now, these are both characters that we can use in a story, so we will put them in characters. I also want us to think of other characters that we think are widely known. So if I tell you my brother Jesse, you don't really know my brother Jesse. I know him very well. But if I say maybe Mickey Mouse, do you know who that is?
I absolutely do.
So I will write Mickey Mouse as a character. Are you thinking of a character that we both might know?
I'm thinking of a character. How about Tinkerbell?
Oh, I know who Tinkerbell is as well. So write Tinkerbell on one, and then you'll put it in the character 10. I can also think about not specific characters, but maybe a vampire.
Ooh.
Can you imagine if a vampire and Tinkerbell went somewhere together? That might be fun.
Mine is going to be a young boy.
Oh, that sounds good.
So he doesn't have a name. He can be any young boy that you picture in your imagination.
And characters don't have to be human, like Minnie Mouse,
That's right.
Tinkerbell, and a vampire. But they can also be a kitten. Can you think of another animal that might be a good character for a narrative?
I can. Do you remember last Thursday when we watched our episode and I brought in my chickens?
Oh, yes.
I'm going to put my little Silky chicken. Because she was really cute. Remember, she had not the fur, but she had fluff.
Yeah. And if you pick a character that you don't know really well, it's okay to pick another.
Oh, maybe I should just put chicken because I think we can all picture
Let's
that.
leave it.
Okay.
If you pull out Silky Chicken, I'm sure you'll come up with a great story. All right, let's make 2 more each. So think of a character, someone that a lot of people know that would be easy to write about.
I'm going to write about a cousin. And if I put cousin, it could be a boy cousin, a girl cousin, any cousin that you might have.
I put Spider-Man.
And you put Spider-Man, okay.
I think a lot of people know who Spider-Man is.
I agree.
And one more. How about...
I'm going to put Miss Viola Swamp.
Oh, the
Since
character
we
from
all
the
read
book.
about her.
Sounds good.
And that could make a story really interesting.
And you inspired me. I put Charlotte.
All right.
Now, I'm going to put a little spider icon because I know there might be some Charlottes watching this right now. My niece's name is Charlotte, but I was
Beautiful
talking
name.
about the spider Charlotte. All right, so one of the main elements of narrative are characters. Another, setting. So I'm going to just make a card that says setting. Now, this is going to be a double because setting is a place, but it's also a time. So I'm going to write time and place.
Okay.
What I mean by that is I will write a time and a place. So I will say summertime at the beach. So the beach is a place and summertime is a time. I will put that in my settings cup. Ooh.
So I'm going to jump back in time because I always like those historical books. And mine is going to be the Old West in the 1800s with cowboys and maybe a vampire.
Wow, that would be fun. So you inspired me to think instead of in the past. How about the future?
Sure.
Okay, so the year 2520. That's 500 years in the future. So the year 2520 on planet
Ooh,
Mars.
nice.
Can you imagine if Minnie Mouse or Mickey Mouse was on the planet Mars in the year 2520.
And how did they get there?
That would be an interesting
love it.
story. What are you
So
thinking?
mine is just present now since I moved back. And I'm going to do Albuquerque, New Mexico in the year 2020. So I think we have a lot going on right now that we could write about.
Definitely. Oh, I found out we have some students watching us from the country of Qatar.
Oh, nice.
So I will say Qatar, present day as well.
Okay. So I am going to go with another real place. And mine is going to be Las Vegas, Nevada, because a lot happens in Vegas, right? But I'm going to go back, I'm going to go forward 2 years, 2022. That means we can project still what's going on, but what's going to happen in 2 years?
Wow. I wonder if we'll still have the pandemic going on.
Oh, I sure hope not.
I
But
hope
let's-
not either. All right, I have one more, and this one's a little wild. Under the sea.
Ooh,
I'm thinking
I
kind of like
love
The Little
that.
Mermaid.
Little Mermaid
Under
is one
the
of my
sea.
favorites.
Present day. Under the sea.
I have one more also, and mine is going to be in the classroom in September of this year.
Oh,
So
I
what's
wonder
gonna
what
happen
that will
when
be.
we go back.
Great idea. Now, the last element that we will use is conflict. Conflict is a problem. Problems can be big, problems can be small. One conflict would be can't find their shoe. Can't find their shoe. Can you imagine if a vampire was underwater and couldn't find his shoe? That is silly.
That's a story that's going to write itself, I think.
So a conflict is a problem. Conflicts, again, can be large, colossal, or they can't find their shoe. What conflict did you think of?
Well, I just wanted to mention that we didn't talk a lot about conflicts, but we can have different types of conflicts, right? We can have external conflicts, man versus man, but you can also have a conflict with yourself if you can't make a decision. But I did not choose that one. My conflict is a car exploded.
Whoa.
Dun, dun, dun.
How about, this is going to be silly, can't stop sweating.
Oh no.
Can't stop sweating. That is a conflict. That is a problem. How is the character going to help their way through this?
And mine has to do with what we've been working on this week. My conflict is going to be writer's block.
That reminds me of the story you read on our first day. What was it called?
Ralph writes a story.
Definitely. They don't know what to write.
Little guy. Yeah.
Another conflict would be they're lonely. If I were living under the sea, I might be lonely as well. So what we're going to do, and you can do this at home, organize 3 cups with different characters, different settings, and different conflicts. Then you can shuffle them up. And if you did this every day and wrote a silly story every day, wow, that would be a great
would be
workout
amazing.
as a writer. So, Miss Mary, will you please not look, but pick a character?
I will. I will pick a character. Whoa, the cards are stuck. Oh, I picked Spider-Man.
Okay,
I
Spider-Man.
have Spider-Man.
In which setting?
My Spider-Man is going to exist in the Old West 1800s.
And the problem
And poor
is...
Spider-Man's problem is going to be... Can you grab one for me, Miss Abby? There we go.
Oh, he's lonely. Maybe because he's the
lonely.
only Spider-Man. So when you have time, write a story that has the character, the setting, and the conflict. Readers, writers, we hope you do the same at home. Share them with us, and thank you so much for learning with us today at home with APS.